Hello everyone. This video is all about how to install Cisco WebEx app onto your laptop or desktop. The different steps are clearly shown here in this video. Along with it, I have also described how you can log in or you can host a meeting, WebEx meeting, and what are the features available under WebEx when you're going to conduct a training program. Please go through this video and I hope it will be very useful for you. First, you can go and click on your web browser, Google Chrome, and then on the title bar, on the address bar, you can type Cisco WebEx and you press the enter button. So you can see the new window appearing. There is an option there called download. Just click on download. You will be getting on the screen two options. One is WebEx Meetings and WebEx Teams. We are going to download WebEx Meetings and it's for Windows. So click on download for Windows. The required files are getting downloaded. You can see on that corner, the files are getting downloaded. So once the download finishes, we click on it. So I have clicked on that particular file which was downloaded, and you can see there are some options coming. It takes little time for it to upload. One small window comes like a wizard. Just click on next. Then you go and click on I shall accept. Then again click on next. Keep on clicking next. And finally your WebEx app gets installed onto your machine. It may take 2-3 minutes. This I have shown it fast. It will take 2-3 minutes for it to get downloaded onto your machine. Once it is downloaded, it will ask you whether you want to enable the extension. So you have to go and click on enable extension. So your app is, you can see app is getting downloaded. It is there on the taskbar. Again it will run a wizard. Just click on next. And now you are ready with the app to work on WebEx. On the extension there you can see whether it has been downloaded properly or not. Okay. So these are the very simple steps for you to make use of WebEx. So we have already installed the Cisco WebEx meeting. So we are double clicking on it and the icon, and here you are asked to enter the email ID. For each standard we will be getting each mail ID. So whatever is the mail ID given to you for your concerned class, that mail ID has to be given. This is for example for class 10. So that is the mail ID which I have typed in. It will be provided to you from the school. After scheduling everything is done, the mail ID, the password will be provided to you, with which you will be moving out further. So this is the mail ID which I am going to conduct my class. So I have typed in this mail ID and I am going to click on next. So it will ask for your password. So password will also be provided from the school. So I have signed in into the meeting. The only requirement when you work on WebEx is that you need a constant network. If the network is slow or something of that sort, then connecting will become a little lagging. Okay, so this is the app with which I am working on. Clear? So you can see here, this is my host DBCSANG, and you will have few options here: start a meeting, schedule and all that. Please don't go and click on anything of this sort here, start a meeting or schedule. Here start a meeting is if you want to instantly start a meeting. Clear? like we did it in Google Meet. Instantly you want to start, there also we had the start a meeting. If you can also go for schedule a meeting, and then schedule means what, we are planning for a meeting and then we are informing that to all our participants. So this part of schedule will be done from the school and it will be given to you. So all that the teachers may not worry about all this part, scheduling and all that. Clear? And then now if you are a participant, suppose you want to join somebody's meeting, you want to join as a participant, in that case when you are using this WebEx, you should go and give a number, a 10-digit number will be given to you. That number you have to give here in join a meeting. In Google Meet we used to give a code, is it not? We gave a 9-lettered code there, but here it will be a number. So that number you will be typing it here, then it will ask you for a password. All that is when you are joining a meeting. There is a difference between starting a meeting and joining a meeting. Starting a meeting means you are going to conduct the meeting. Join a meeting means you are going to be a participant of some other meeting. I hope it is clear. And then if you look into the upcoming meetings, so if I click here show only WebEx meeting, already I have scheduled the classes for the standard 10. So what I'll do is according to the day. So for example on 5th October my schedule is there, so I just on 5th October I'll just click on this start. So every day when it is scheduled properly, when you are supposed to start the meeting, there you will get the option called start. So what you do is here you click on start. Under the upcoming meetings you choose the particular date, then you go for the start button. Please don't go and start here. If you start here, the ID number, everything will be different, because what we are giving to the students is for this particular meeting. So don't be confused. Don't go into this starter meeting. As you see this, don't just go and click on. Under the upcoming meetings, you will have the schedule for your class there on that particular date. So 5th October 2020. So there you can just go and click on start. So when I click on start, the meeting or the WebEx, the screen appears. So this is the Cisco WebEx training screen which appears. Okay. So once it comes up, you can see here DBCSANG host. I am the host. Clear? And this shows it is the web camera. Clear? And then it will ask you whether you want to join this conference using your computer or some other device. Clear? So I said I want to join this audio conference using my computer. So I'll just click on call using computer. So it will check whether your audios are all perfect, and then automatically if you close it will just, now you can see this is my audio button. The same thing what we saw in Meet. Okay, we have both video as well as audio. So if I want to speak in a meeting, then I have to click on this. When I click on, now you can see it is red in color. It is red in color means I am muted. Muted means what I speak nobody will be able to hear. So always it should not be red in color if you want to speak. Clear? Then you have the camera. You can when you click here it will tell you start my video. Clear? So when you click on it, your class, your participants can see you. Here I am not using my video. Clear? So these are the two options for the host. That means for us as a teacher, we can click here to on the video and here to on the audio. Clear? If it is red color means it means I am muted. That means I am not going to, whatever I speak will not be heard to the participants. Clear? So I keep it as red so that whatever I speak it may not be heard to the audience. So then here you can see here attendee. Clear? It is called attendee. Attendee means participants. Here I have not invited anybody for the meeting as of now. So my attendee is 0. Clear? And you can see whenever you are running a WebEx meeting, you have something here called this one ball. Okay, that is a control for the meeting. Always the host who is going to conduct the meeting should have this ball. Clear? And if this by mistake your network connection goes, or suppose you clicked on this ball, you can see you can drag the ball. If I drag the ball and I want somebody else to be as a presenter, I am dragging the ball and giving the ball to that presenter. What happens is that that particular person holds the control of the meeting. So you will be just a listener only. The other person who is holding the ball will be the presenter. What happens is when you are conducting the meeting, and if sometimes network goes, the first participant, whoever is the first participant, automatically the ball goes to that particular participant. So you will not be able to do anything. So for that case, what you have to do is you have to end the session, come out and then rejoin. Only that case you will be able to get back the ball. Understood? So always make sure that your network connection is proper. Clear? So this is your, then you have something here called the pane list. What normally we suggest is that if you can have another network connection, or you can have a mobile, and you can also load into your WebEx in your mobile, and you can make your name which is appearing in a mobile as a pane list. So what happens is, even if you lose the control, the ball will be in the name of the pane list. I shall show you how it is. Clear? So now let me join this meeting. So I am going to join this meeting. So I have typed. So let us consider a student is joining the meeting. Okay. So the student will be given a 10-digit number as well as a password. So that will be the constant for all the classes when he is attending through WebEx for this particular class. So every day it will not change. That will be a common ID as well as the password. Now you can see here one participant has joined this meeting. Under attendee you can see as 1. So normally what we do is, though I am the host, I also log in through my mobile. Clear? And then what I do is I right click on it, and you can see here change role to. So presenter is me, this particular person. The presenter is me as a host as well as this. You can also see here one option called pane list. So what I do is I click on pane list. So what happens is, even when the network goes, okay, now I am running through from my laptop. Even if my network goes, this ball goes to the pane list. So it doesn't go into the hands of the students. So we are very sure that it is with me. This is from my laptop. This is from my mobile. You can see this mobile symbol. So even if my connection goes, what happens is, if I am using another network, if it is the same network, means this connection goes, this also will go. Clear? So what I do is I keep this particular presenter as a participant as my pane list. So the main person is this host, the second one is pane list. Is that clear? So you can also assign like this, or you can assign to any student whom you feel you will not do any harm to you. You can make that particular person as a pane list, so that even if something happens, he can give the control back. Okay. So you can see here, if I have become a pane list and something happened and the host control has gone, naturally what will happen? I will become the host. And once I become the host, once everything has become normal, what I can do, I can make the actual person as my host. Again from here I can say change role to and become host. Clear? Then you also have assign privileges. Assign privileges, not much of things we have to know, because when we schedule it itself, we make sure that other students don't see who are the participants, number of attendees and all that. We are not giving privileges to other participants. In Google Meet, every participant can see each other. Here we are restricting the view of other participants to see each other, or they have no chatting facility with each other. Clear? So all these are some advantages of this WebEx licensed version. Clear? And then here, so now we have seen there are two participants, it is VBCS ANG as well as one another participant. Clear? Then now if I want to enable the chat option, if I want to, it is not necessary. In that case, we go here, file. You can see there is an option called open chat. Clear? You can go to open chat. You can say OK, and then you can see, okay, you just close this. We don't want all this. And now you can see here, send to all participants. Okay, so here you can choose whether you want a message to be sent only to the host and presenter, all the details. So if there are 100 students, all the 100 names will come there, all attendees. So I can choose what is the to whom I want to send, and here I can type. So if I type here hello, and then I send, it goes to all participants. I can just click on send. So the message has gone to all. And once I have finished my chat work, I can just close this window. Okay, I can close this panel. So I don't have the chatting facility anymore. Fine. So this is one option. The other one, next we are coming into, so now you can see participants. As I said, I have only one participant. You can scroll down here. The list of the participants will come here, and you can scroll down. Then one more thing I want to tell about the participant is that you will be having a list of participants, right? We will be having so many students attending the classes. So here I am having this particular, now I don't want this, okay fine, let it be here only, fine. So let me change role to, okay, let it be present, fine. Now if I am going into some other options, if for example let me tell you, if I want, one second, so I have made him an attendee only. So you can see here I have changed this particular privilege from a panelist to attendee. Now you could see one exclamation mark over here. This exclamation mark along with the participant's name indicates that that particular child is not in the WebEx screen, either on his monitor or on his laptop or on his mobile. That means the child is out of the class. Means his control is not on the WebEx screen, but maybe he is working on some other application. So when you see participants with this exclamatory mark, we can very well know that these children are not listening to the classes. Okay, this is a very good advantage of having WebEx. We can have control of the class. Okay, so now if I come back, now I am into some other, so now I am coming back. And you can see now I am coming back into my normal. Now you can see when I have come back to my WebEx screen, this particular exclamatory mark has gone out from here. Clear? So this is all about participants. If you have more number of participants, you can also see the videos. Here you will have an option. Now I have only one participant. So you can see here grid view and all that, like we have in Google Meet. You can also see their videos. When they have opened their videos and all that, you can see the videos. Okay, so all that is same as Google Meet. Now we are coming into the different options here. You can see there are so many options here. Okay, so mainly I will go with sharing. Okay, so sharing, you have the same, my desktop, which I see it here also. You can share your desktop. Clear? You can share any video which you want to show. Maybe you can show it from your YouTube or any video which you have prepared. Then you can show any application, like you want some Word, Excel, anything of that sort you can show. Then you can use the whiteboard. Whiteboard is similar to our Google Meet. There also we used whiteboard. If you want to write, draw something and show, like our Blackboard, here it is the whiteboard. Then if I want to show anything on the Chrome, any other window, web browser, multimedia. So all this is possible in sharing. So you can share anything. For example, let me share my when I go with share my desktop. So when I am sharing my desktop, let me go for I want to show one file. Clear? I just click on this particular file. You can see this is a PDF file which I want to show. Okay, I want to show this particular file to the children. So you can see, the students can see. So what you can do is your text also can be made into a PDF file, and instead of reading from your text, you can have it stored in your machine and you can read from that particular file, which is your nothing but text. So here you can see, here you can annotate, you can highlight. There are so many options. Okay, now when I am sharing something, whether it be a video or any particular file, this particular bar, it is hiding, it is auto hide. Okay, if I want, it will come down. Now suppose I am showing something, for example a video. Let me show with a video. Let me stop sharing this and let me show you one video. Let me show you a PowerPoint. So what you could do is, whatever you want to show, you can create it, minimize it and keep. So this is what I want to show. Now I'm going to share my desktop, and there I can just click on my PowerPoint down here from the taskbar, and I just click on this. Clear? So my PowerPoint is, so you can reduce your wastage of time. Clear? So from here I am showing this PowerPoint. Clear? I am showing this PowerPoint. Now when I am showing this PowerPoint, you can see there is one pause button. Suppose I want to tell more about detail about this particular slide. So what I could do is, I can pause. I can pause, and then I can tell more about the screen, and then once I finish, or I want to ask questions, or maybe I want to annotate. For example, you know what is annotating. Okay, yeah, I'm going to annotate it, and say maybe I want to underline something, introduction to Java, something of the sort, collection, some important things, I can highlight it, all that I can do. Clear? And then stop annotating. I go to stop annotating, and here once I've finished, I can resume. I can resume, I can start. So this is how you can run a video. Now when I am sharing my screen, you can see the participants list is not seen here. So at that time, maybe you feel you are losing control of the class. Clear? So we need not worry about that. There is an option called participants. From here you can see the same participants you can see here. But when I am seeing the participants here, this particular window will not be seen to the students. Students will have this much portion as blurred. They will not be able to see. So we will not hide it. We will bring it somewhere here, and we'll make sure that it is not a problem for all the students, so they can see the screen properly. Clear? So in the meantime, I want to question somebody, or I want to see whether all of them are in the class, I can just go through it, and once I have finished checking on the participants, I can just close them. So whenever required, I can take the participants list from here. So this is how you can share. The same way you can also share your video file, you can share your audio file, anything, any type of files you can share. Okay. And there are also like here, from here also you can do chatting. As I said, you can do annotating. All these things which is available from our Google Meet is also available here. Okay. Now I am just stop sharing. I finished my presentation. I finished showing the file. I just go click on stop sharing. So when I click on stop sharing, my my desktop has become blank. Okay. Then the next option what you are going to see is, I want to share my whiteboard. Okay, whiteboard is like this. So if I want to type something on the whiteboard, I can type. Okay, then maybe I want to draw something, I can draw. I want to draw for them a rectangle, and I want to say this is a rectangle. Okay, I move it here. Then maybe I want to draw certain shapes, I can draw the shapes. Clear? So you can, when you are teaching itself, if it is max classes, you can also show them the different shapes or whatever it is you want to try, maybe angles, everything. But everything you can do only with the help of the mouse. Clear? And once I have prepared a board for one class, the same thing, if it has to be used for another division, you can also have the option of saving it. Clear? So when I click on close, it will ask me, do you want to continue? Closing this tab will remove its content from all parties. Do you want to continue? I'll say yes. Then it will immediately ask, do you want to save this? So whatever I have drawn here, if this is required for my next session also, then I can save it. Now I don't want to save, so I click no. Clear? So this is another method of whiteboard. Then as I said, you can run your Word, you can run your Excel file, you can also run any particular video. That is also possible. Clear? So video, now I am not running it because the video will go very much lengthy. So any video you have, you can have it opened, minimized from here, and then from here you can directly run file including video. So these are the different options. Then audio, all this is not required for. Then the next main option is that when you are having participants, compared to Google Meet, here you can mute and unmute all. Clear? Mute all means you can make all of them keep quiet. Once you have started your classes, you don't want anybody to open their mouth in between. You have the control to keep their audios closed, mute all, right? And if you want any one particular person to unmute, then you can also unmute them. Similarly, unmute all. Clear? So that is another advantage. The presenter or the host has got the control of the audio of the participants. If all of them are shouting, what you do? You can just go into participant and then you can go for the option mute all. Clear? Now here let me see. If I go. Yeah, if I go here, you can go. If I take that particular participant and then I can go for the option mute, or I can go and say all the participants mute all. So that control is in my hand. Clear? Then all this assign privileges I have already spoken. Change role to also I have spoken. Like if you want some other child to represent something from him, then you can change role to presenter. You can give the option of that particular child being the presenter. Clear? If you give the change role of host to others, then the teacher will be losing all control. Okay, then there will be around 100 students, 120 students. So if you just want to find whether that particular child is present, you can go for find participant, and you must make sure that all the students enter in their own names. Let them not enter in different names or their father's and mother's name. Let them all enter in their own names. Only then you will be able to find out whether all are present or not. Okay. Then I think I told you about the session info. So in this session, this option called session info, here you are having the access code. Can you see this 10-digit number? This 10-digit number is a number which we give to the students, along with the password. So when they are working on WebEx, they go with the join option and then they are entering the WebEx. Clear? Then almost I have completed everything what is required normally on a beginner's level. What is required I have covered almost. Then finally what you're going to do is you are going to end the session. So for when ending the session, always you must go into the quick start menu. Okay, in quick start menu there is an option here for end training session. If you are working from a mobile, there will be two options, leave and end. For teachers, it is necessary that we must go with end training session. Clear? So you will click on end training session and you have to go for end session. Clear? Once you end the session, all the participants will be automatically left. Okay, they will have no more place in our training room. So they will also lose their connections. But in Meet it doesn't happen like this. So once you have end the session, all of the other participants, they will also be left out from their training room. So I just click on end session. It is very necessary that the teachers must go for the end session. Only if the teacher has ended the session and signed out, the next teacher who wants to use the same ID will be able to log in. Otherwise, she will not be able to log in. So I just go with the end session. So now you can see here, now this is my app, and from here if you just click on here, it will ask you for something called feedback. You need not worry about the feedback, you need not give anything, you can just close this your feedback. And then this is the app from which we started. Now if you go into this option, settings or app settings, there is an option called sign out. The sign out option is a must for all. After ending the session, all the teachers after their particular session must sign out. Clear? Only if you just exit and come, and if you are keeping in signed in, the next teacher will not be able to log in. So it is necessary that all of them sign out. So you have to go for the sign out option as well. Okay. So I think this tutorial was quite beneficial for you, and I hope all of you will be able to run WebEx classes smoothly without any problems. Thank you very much.